Hi everyone, my name is Joseph, and today I want to discuss Spider-Man Miles Morales, which came out on November 12th, 2020. So when this game first came out, a lot of people were kind of not sure what to take of it, or rather what to make of it, just because usually when something of this nature comes out, it's just a short expansion, yet this was being released as its own separate game, right? It even got its own case and everything like that. And surprisingly, a lot of people what they came to discover was a game, a proper game. So despite this being a expansion of sorts for Spider-Man on the PS4, it is self-contained with a brand new character, brand new quote unquote, just because Miles Morales was present and the Spider-Man PS4 game as well. But with this game, Miles Morales becomes his own Spider-Man and becomes much more fleshed out. Minor spoilers for Spider-Man PS4, but it ends with Morales showing to Peter that he has spider powers, and then with Parker revealing to Morales that, well, guess what? He has those same powers as well. The relationship that was built up between that, with the relationship that was made between Parker and Morales, I really do appreciate it. It's like a mentor slash brotherly kind of role, and it's really cool. The story itself, I think that's probably going to be one of the best elements about this game. It is predictable, the narration, but I think that predictability really adds to the emotional impact the story delivers upon the audience. So when something is predictable, that typically is a bad thing, but some storytellers, when they're aware that something is predictable, they're able to use that to their advantage and build up the characters to make it have a much more of an impact. And I think that's exactly what this game does. The villain, so spoilers, the villain is revealed to be Miles Morales' best friend, the Tinkerer, who's revealed to be Finn. Actually, give me a quick second, everyone. Yeah, Finn. Excuse me. In my head, I was spelling it Finn. I was thinking to myself, that's not right. So I wanted to make sure I got her name correct. And her name is Finn, but it's spelled Phin. So the misspelling in my head just threw me off a little bit. But so Finn is Morales' childhood friend, and as it gets revealed that she is the villain in this story. Why is she the villain? Because unfortunately her brother was murdered, killed due to the consequence of Roxxon, this company, and Finn just wants to get revenge. Essentially, it's a revenge story. But she specifically wants to go against this company and not against the civilian populace, but she's so blinded by her vengeance that she doesn't realize that her plan will indeed hurt innocent people. And so that's why Miles Morales, or Spider-Man, he wants to stop the Tinkerer slash Finn from completing her mission. And I do have to say that by the time one gets to the final boss, it was done really well. One was able to feel the emotional weight, the emotional turmoil that Morales is going through. The fact that this villain is not just someone who was hurting his community, but also this villain is someone that he personally knew. I love how after everything goes down, the story. So it's an open world game, obviously, and so when the game ends, it needs to continue with the player being allowed to explore the world. And I loved how Insomniac did this before one is allowed to start exploring the world purely after they complete the game. There's a small cutscene with Morales holding this trophy. It's a small cube that has his name, Finn's name, and the project, or the project that they submitted their submission to. Excuse me, let me rephrase that. They submitted their a submission into a project that gave them this award, and he just places it on top of this church's steeple, and then one is allowed to start playing as Miles Morales. Just for fun, I went back to that steeple where Morales was at, and you could still see the cube. It's present right there. I haven't turned off the game and gone back in, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was still present even after doing that. I just really appreciate it, just because I think this game did a good job of Finn is obviously going to be portrayed as a villain, as a criminal. With the news stories, but for us, the audience, we know that, well, Finn did what she did because of Roxxon, because of the individuals who were in power and conducting unsavory routes to continue maintaining their power. So all in all, I did really appreciate this story. It did a great job of making Miles Morales his own character. It did a great job of explaining how Miles Morales becomes Spider-Man. And the supporting cast was great as well. I really liked Genki. He was really cool. To be frank with everyone, I'm not the biggest fan of Marvel's Spider-Man. I much prefer Garfield and Maguire's Spider-Man. And so because of that, I'm kind of neutral when it comes to Genki. I do want to read the comics. I do have Miles Morales on my Kindle, but I haven't started reading it because I want to read Ultimate Spider-Man first, and then the Ultimate Spider-Man with Parker, and then the lead up to Ultimate Spider-Man with Morales. But from the portrayal of Genki in this game, he was really awesome. Truly a friend who did keep his other friend in need. His friend. Well, yeah, he was a friend, and Morales was a friend in need, and Genki would make sure that he would assist his friend in need. So I really like the relationship that was built up between them. I also like the story that was built with the mom and Morales as well. I think it's cool that the mom discovers that Morales is Spider-Man within this game. And it was really cool. It added a lot of emotional weight at the end when she's seeing Spider-Man fight against the Tinkerer. And it's a really destructive fight. And she, of course, she's thinking to herself, oh, it's Miles Morales, right, my son. One aspect I don't think I enjoyed as much, and it's not really the game's fault. I think it's more a Spider-Man issue. I do wish he kept his secret identity his secret. At the end, it's implied that a handful of people do know who Spider-Man's real identity is. Maybe that's just the camera work, the way it was done. Maybe I'm incorrect about that. But that's just a minor detail about the story. Well, what about the gameplay? Well, if anyone's played Marvel's Spider-Man for the PS4, it's going to be the same type of gameplay. You're going to have action levels and levels where there's stealth. You have to be stealthy and take out the enemies quietly. And there are some new abilities as well, like holograms and the Venom Strike, which is this electricity little punch that Morales does. He could also go invisible, so some new abilities that Parker Spider-Man doesn't do. And all in all, if one is worried or concerned that this is going to be just an expansion rather than its own game, one should not be too concerned about that. This took me about 6 to 7 hours. So I know maybe not as long as the original Spider-Man for the PS4, but as someone who played games in the 360 and PS3 generation, it was not uncommon for a lot of games to be about 5 to 6 hours. So having a game that was narration focused, where the gameplay was just as refined as the as any other kind of game, I do view this more as its own game rather than just an expansion pack or a DLC. As one could see, I also got the version that comes with the remastered version too. I haven't played that one yet. I have started it, but definitely I'll be doing a review of that once I complete it. The version that I've finished was the PS4 version with the different face actor, right? So if one is unaware, Spider-Man for the PS5 and Spider-Man Miles Morales uses a different different character model for Peter Parker. But that's for a different video. So would I recommend Spider-Man Miles Morales? Yes, I wholeheartedly would. Is this a game that one needs to play Marvel's Spider-Man PS4 before this? To be frank, I don't think one needs to do that. If you have an interest in Spider-Man, you never knew there was 2 Spider-Man before this, and you want to get into Miles Morales specifically, I think one will be able to go ahead and do that. They don't have to play the predecessor. It's just called Spider-Man. But I do think you'll be doing a disservice to yourself in terms of the narration, because Insomniac does such a great job of building up tension within the story, and then there's really great payoff at the end. Not tension, excuse me, that sounds negative. A lot of great build-up, and it pays off really well. But again, if one does want to play this without the other Spider-Man game, I think that is viable. But I think playing both games adds a lot more to it. So would I recommend this game? Yes, I would. Have you played this game? If you have, please let me know what you think of it. I'm looking forward to Spider-Man 2. I personally will be getting that, but I'm the type of gamer that usually waits for things to go on sale. So I'm either going to wait for that to go on a sale, or if DLC is announced, I'll wait for the complete edition. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, everyone. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to let me know. And I guess before I go, in case anyone was curious, so there are multiple versions of Spider-Man Morales if anyone's interested in picking this up. There's the standard version and the Ultimate Edition, and I do believe there's a deluxe edition as well. But the deluxe edition, I think that just comes with like cosmetics. It does not come with Spider-Man Remastered. So make sure one does keep that in mind. If they want to pick up Spider-Man, if they want to get the remastered edition if they want to get the remastered edition in addition to Spider-Man Miles Morales, make sure that one picks up the correct copy, which is known as the Ultimate edition. So to reiterate, there's a standard edition that's just Miles Morales by itself. I believe there is a deluxe edition, but that's just Miles Morales by itself with cosmetics, and then there's the ultimate edition, which comes with Miles Morales and also Spider-Man PS4 Remastered. If one already has Spider-Man Miles Morales, they were unaware of the goodie they could have picked up. You could pick up Spider-Man Remastered digitally on the PS5, so that could be picked up separately. But to my understanding, there is no physical version of Spider-Man Remastered. There's only Spider-Man PS4. And then lastly, if you are going to get this game digitally, let me rephrase that. If you are going to pick up Spider-Man Remastered individually, just make sure that it says Remastered, because one doesn't want to accidentally get the PS4 version versus the PS5 version. Excuse me, I know that was a bit of a tangent, but I wanted to quickly explain that because I do see some comments about that to this day. So this came out 2020, and even 3 years later, I do see comments about the editions and the versions and confusion about that. So thanks for your patience. Again, if you have played this game, please do let me know your opinions and thoughts about it. Have you played Spider-Man 2? That's definitely a game that I'm wholly looking forward to. Thank you so much for watching / listening. Have a great day and take care, everyone.